Not even 50 miles into the Pennzoil Freedom 400, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is on pit road. Matt Yoakum.
He came on the radio a few laps ago, Alan, said he thought he might have a right front tire going down, but he wasn't sure. So they are going to change all 4 tires here at Dale Jr.'s number 8 machine. Tough break, tough early break for the guy who was trying to get up there to 5th in points.
They just about cost me $700. You see that? A 13.3. I've got a deal. Any of these guys pull off a pit stop under 13 seconds, I'll give each member $100. 13.3. Great stop.
The BP Challenge, yet to be claimed so far this season. Bill Elliott, the leader, has moved up on the tail end of the field. He's put Rick Mast, Buckshot Jones, and Elliott Sadler a lap down. And let's take you through the field and check out how the top 10 are running. We start with Matt Yoakum.
Well, I spoke to Mike Ford, who is Bill Elliott's crew chief. He says Bill reports in his car is a little tight in turns 1 and 2, but loose up off turn 4. Other than that, the car is great. To Bill.
Patience for Casey Atwood. That's the call. Tight in the middle of both corners, and also a little bit loose coming off of turn 4. That's the story on Casey. Marty?
Sterling Marlin started 5th, running 3rd, moving up nicely, a little tight. We need to free it up just a little bit is what he told the guys. 4 straight out of the top 10 for these guys. To Bill Weber.
The only advice so far for Kevin Harvick from his crew: hit your marks, be smooth. Good run for the guy that had his car blow up on him in the Busch race yesterday. Matt?
Last year, Rusty Wallace had 4 wins. This year, only 1. Reports in his car is pretty neutral, but like a lot of other contenders, loose off turn 4. To Bill.
And that's the story for Jeff Gordon in the 24 car, loose off of turn 4, but Robbie Loomis is telling Jeff he's running good lap times. Jeff says the car is better in clean air. Matt?
Michael Walter reporting in that his radio is good. His race car is too, a little bit on the loose side off turn 4, but other than that, the Napa car running well. And also looking at the 5 car, Terry Labonte, I talked to his crew chief, Gary Dehart. He says Terry is not talking loud on the radio, which means the car is good. He says the car, too, a little bit free off turn 4. To Bill Weber.
Matt, John Andretti has slipped all the way back to 9th here in the early going. His car very loose. He's hoping that the air pressures and the car will come to him. That hasn't been the case so far. Marty?
Jason Leffler very tight, Bill. They were too loose in happy hour yesterday. They think they went too far on the adjustment. Still looking for his first career top 10. To Matt.
We well documented the fact that Tony Stewart is battling the flu. 2 IVs before the race. Right now his car is free. Tony says the track is a little bit slick, but it's starting to come to him.
Well, Ward Burton in a Dodge, Matt, having a good run here today, tight in the center of the turns, and the car will not rotate real well for him, but so far that hasn't been a major hindrance. That's the story for Ward, Marty.
Matt Kenseth having a very nice run. Started 21st up to 14th. Has said nothing on the radio, but before the race started, they qualified so well, he said it's pretty cool to be behind this first pace car. Back to you, Bill.
And the 93 of Dave Blaney, the teammate to Ward Burton, has the common affliction, loose off of turn 4. That's what a lot of guys are battling, Matt.
Mark Martin trying to turn around a season here in Homestead. They were very optimistic after happy hour, only made 1 small track bar change. Mark reporting in, the car is to his liking. And now the 66 of Ty Bodine, another guy hoping to break into the win column, making the 18th different winner in 01. His car is too tight off the corner. He's tight in the middle, but loose, like a lot of guys, off turn 4. Also, Jeff Burton, I talked to his crew chief, Frank Stoddard. He said they were hoping to really turn around their weekend. Jeff was not happy the way his Busch car ran. He says, Jeff not saying a whole lot, but the car is a little free. To Bill.
And in the 31 car today, Jeff Green, who will drive full-time for Richard Childress next season, loose in turn 4. I talked to his crew chief, Gil Martin. Gil's second race as crew chief of the 31. Worked with Robbie Gordon last week, Jeff Green this week. Marty?
Bobby Labonte has said absolutely nothing on the radio. He's running in 20th right now, but remember, he started 31st, making nice progress. All he has said is that the track feels a little bit slick. Back to Dave.
And right now, these guys have worked very hard on the attitude of the 92 car for Stacey Compton, but it's a little bit tight for him. They want to loosen him up on the first pit stop for the 92 car. The 26 car of Jimmy Spencer has run very well. They told him early on, don't overdrive, run your line. He's asked for an adjustment on the car, air pressure down in both rear tires to give him a little bit more grip. As for the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, he is tight everywhere. His crew chief this weekend, Ken Howes, is working on how to make that car better. He is still deciding what adjustment to make for the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson. Bill?
Well, Dave, certainly one of the most disappointing runs so far here at Homestead is for Ricky Rudd. Has fallen all the way back in the field to the 24th spot. Remember, if Jeff Gordon gains 44 points on Ricky Rudd today, that's 10 to 15 positions, then Jeff Gordon has the championship. Rudd struggling. Alan?
Boy, I'll say he is, Bill. Started 4th. And as Bill told you, he's all the way back to 24th place, while Jeff Gordon is up there in 5th and trying to take 4th. In fact, has just taken 4th from Kevin Harvick.
And there's really nothing you can do when you have a car that loose. You can't step on the gas, so you're just tiptoeing the whole lap.
If they finish as they're running right now, Jeff Gordon will get the Winston Cup trophy this afternoon. He's got to lead by 370 or better at the end of the day to have it locked up before the year's final 2 races. Got a long way to go. But as things are going right now, it's good for Gordon and bad for Rudd.
And the last time by, the 24 car, Jeff Gordon was the fastest car in the top 6 vehicles out there. Even faster than Bill Elliott.
That's bad news for everybody because we normally don't get many cautions in these Homestead races. And if Gordon is good after 40 laps, we're at 39 now, that's bad for the competition.
As a matter of fact, Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart are running about the same speed.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. came down pit road for an unscheduled stop back at lap 28. Matt, how about some more on that?
Well, Alan, Dale Jr. thought he had a tire going down, but I spoke with Tony Eury Jr., the car chief on the 8. He says they checked the pressures. Nothing was wrong with the tires. Dale Jr. just says the car is driving very weird. He says he wants a rubber in the right rear when they make their next stop.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a lap and 3/4 behind leader Bill Elliott. It'll be a long day for the Bud crew. Elliott out in front. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Skyline of downtown Miami across Key Biscayne Bay from the Homestead-Miami Speedway, where today the NASCAR Winston Cup Series runs the Pennzoil Freedom 400. Checking our Wendy's race menu, NASCAR on NBC continues from Atlanta next Sunday. The Napa 500 at noon Eastern time. Then we wrap up the season on Friday, November 23rd, noon Eastern, Loudon, New Hampshire. And the final event of 2001. All Bill Elliott so far today. We've run 44 laps. Elliott has led them all from the pole, but he's not leading by a whole lot.
No, he isn't, because his teammate Casey Atwood is right there. And look at Sterling Marlin, the 40 car. And talking to those guys in the garage here this morning, talking about the 40 car, Sterling Marlin, how's your car? No, it's not good at all. And they changed this, changed a bunch of stuff. Well, obviously, the changes they made are working very well.
Lee McCall told me they changed 4 shocks, 4 springs, and both sway bars.
See right there, Sterling rolled through the center of the corner really, really good, which gave him the opportunity to get on the gas earlier than Casey, and all of a sudden you're up next to him and by him.
You see those characters on the hood of that car? It's rock and roll legends. Kiss, the Grand Marshals for the weekend here at Homestead. Let's check down on pit road with Marty.
And they're having a good time, Alan. And we'll just talk to Gene Simmons, since he's the one who can probably hear me the best. How cool is this racing stuff? You've been around a lot of neat things, I'm sure, in your 20-year rock and roll career.
This is about as hot as you could ever imagine anything getting. The sights, the sounds, people risking their lives so the fans can have the time of their lives. The Kiss car being driven by Sterling Marlin. Out of this world, we're having the time of our lives.
People, if you haven't seen this before, it's one thing to watch it on TV. You got to come here. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's an American sport at its finest.
And that's Paul Stanley, and these guys are having a good time. And if you need to get Sterling to stop, stick out your tongue, Gene. So anyway, these guys are having a great time. Kiss car doing very well on the racetrack as well, guys.
You didn't think you were going to hang on to that microphone with a couple of rock and roll singers there, did you, Marty? I mean, come on.
I tried, Alan. I really tried, but Gene's a little taller than I am. I wasn't going to mess with him.
They're pretty used to handling their own sound equipment, thank you. Tell you what, Marlin is fast. Up to second spot around Casey Atwood. And some pit stops here at lap 48. Dave?
The 55 car of Bobby Hamilton is in. Just talked to crew chief Jimmy Elledge. He said, we're terrible, we're tight, we're loose. The car is not good here. We're not having a good day. They will change 4 tires and fuel the car and send Bobby back out. I don't think he's having a whole lot of fun, guys.
Kevin LePage also in and almost collected a NASCAR official on the way out.
I tell you, folks, when you drive a race car, sure, it's a lot of fun to go out there and just drive around. But when you try to win, and all these guys want to win, you pick a day like today that Bobby Hamilton, Kevin LePage are having, it's not a lot of fun.
Yeah, when you start out bad, it does not get better. The cars just get worse because the track is hot. You wear your tires out, and if the car's sliding at the start of the race, it's going to get a lot worse as you burn the fuel off and you wear those tires out.
And it must have been pretty bad for them to bail out and come in shy of lap 50. We're expecting it to be lap 60 before we see the first pit stops. Tony Stewart trying to move up another spot. He's in 8th, going after Michael Waltrip in the 15 for 7th.
Making you look good is Tony. Huh, Wally?
He's making me look real good, and I think Michael just said, hey, you are faster. He pulled over and let him go, which was smart because you run side by side through the corners right now, and you're just going to lose time to the guy that's chasing you down. So Michael figured, heck, I won't lose a lot of time. I'll let Tony get in front of me, and I'll follow him through.
Tony Stewart has led 210 of 534 possible laps ever here at Homestead in winning both previous editions of this Pennzoil 400.
And I mean, the key is right there. If you watch that 20 car in the center of this racetrack, when he gets through the corners, he can stay down low and get on the gas. He is fast right now.
Putting a lap on Bobby Hamilton Jr. in that 4 car, running back in 35th position. Ken Schrader has also been put a lap down by the leader, Bill Elliott. He's back in 34th. Just past the 50-lap mark, 267 make up the distance. Green flag pit stops when we come back to Homestead.